Hello everyone, it's been a while. I know you have probably not missed me, some of you probably don't even know who I am or how I popped up in your YouTube feed. Regardless, I'm Coney, hello. Welcome to my cesspit that is called my YouTube channel. Today I have been called by myself to a rather pressing manner. Not really, it's kind of actually funny. Basically, my YouTube feed has been recently filled with very shoe-on-head-like channels, except they mostly do more like lightweight, easy to consume content, like making fun of stupid TikTok trends. It's very funny, I recommend it, it's great stuff. I mostly play these videos in the background when playing games. I've been enjoying Resident Evil 4 lately, quite a lot. I bought the game when there was a sale and I've been playing to death. It's very fun, I highly recommend. Anyway, that's not what the video is about, as I'm actually more interested in talking about Kaytlyn's script, Gooning Ruined Goth video. I know the title is a little bit funny. I also would like to point out I don't actually have any script or anything. I literally just got back home and took a shower, and I thought, hey, why don't I do something silly on YouTube? It's quite literally 11 p.m. as I'm recording this. Well, doesn't really matter. Just as a prefix, I don't really care if this video gains any kind of traction or anything. I just kind of want to get my opinion out there because as much as I agree with Kaytlyn, I feel like she makes a few silly points that I feel like we just can't gloss over when we're talking about this issue. And yes, it is very much an issue. I'm sure you know what we're talking about here. I mean, we've all seen these quote-unquote goth girls, you know, the more conventionally attractive type. These girls who, you know, pose around or like dance and, you know, they have their tits out and God knows what. They're not really goth, so to say, as all they really do is just put on some eyeliner and black lipstick. That's not really what goth culture is. Just to be clear, I'm not really educated on that either. Probably all I've got in common with goth is that I listen to post-punk. I actually have found a great band a few months ago. It's called Belgrado. I recommend you guys check them out. Their music is great, especially the first albums they put out when they were a little younger. And the reason why I probably fell in love with that group too is because the singer is from Poland. What is the issue with this video at hand? Like I said, with most of it I fully agree. It is very much true that nowadays pretty much anything is sexualized. I mean, I've seen people say that like 7 times 7 equals 49 is hot, apparently. I don't know what the hell the issue of that up with is, but sure. I mean, my friends at school have been showing that to me. I don't get it. I don't understand. You people are weird. You need to visit a therapist. Well, that being said, the issue I have in this video, and I know she literally starts the video out by saying,
I will not be tolerating any sort of slut-shaming or puritanism, when the main issue at large is gooner men treating women as though they are nothing but a porn category.
Now, my issue with this statement is that it's kind of weird to gloss over the issue of gooning without yet addressing the people who literally supply these gooners. You know, when you think about these goth girls or whatever, there are a few that probably come to mind, and you've probably seen them on YouTube, and it shouldn't surprise you that they are OnlyFans models. And I'm sorry, but it's kind of impossible to gloss over this without slut-shaming these women, as if anything, I think they should be treated as the patient zero of this goonpocalypse, because real goth people are, let's be honest here, they are very much unconventional, and I don't think most of us would find them attractive. I mean, Kaytlyn is a great example. She has shaved eyebrows and, of course, those god-awful piercings. That's what kind of the real goth women are. Meanwhile, these ones are more conventionally attractive. They're more cutesy and so goddamn sexual. Well, it is all pretty much a marketing campaign to get men to buy into this stuff. And of course, the men that do buy this stuff are indeed the problem. You people need help. I know it's not easy to quit an addiction, let alone a porn addiction, but it is 100% possible, and you should try your best, contact some friends, or maybe just, you know, cut your internet off for a while. I'm sure that'll do well. That being said though, it's very weird for her to gloss over this issue in just such a one-sided way. At some point, she even almost admits that these women are a problem as well, but then goes back to pointing the finger at men.
I have levied some criticisms in today's video with these kinds of women and what they are doing and how that does contribute to the sexualization of goths. But once again, I think it's very easy to just completely disregard the man's part in this entire conversation.
Yeah, and if they choose to do something like this, then I'm sorry, but we're 100% allowed to criticize this and blame them for this as well. You know, if these women wouldn't make goth girls, well, quote-unquote, once again, more conventionally attractive, I'm pretty certain this goon-pocalypse of, like, goth culture would never happen. You guys would still be this, like, nuanced group that really only understands each other. But because these women exist, and, you know, they removed all the uglier parts of like, the goth subculture, like the piercings and everything, they are more conventionally attractive, which attracts more like quote-unquote basic men, and it also attracts gooners. And I'm gonna give her a ton of credit. She shows a lot of great examples of how women and even like underage girls get treated as nothing more than like sex workers on the internet. There's like a girl that shows her weird DMs, and it's mostly just full of guys who, you know, who are like, oh, please step on me, mommy, dominate me, spit in my mouth. You guys are wild. You need some help. Also, her video has a lot of great comments which point these issues out, like people wearing a corset, a girl wearing a corset, and her getting called out like, is she an escort? Is she selling like, you know, favors, right? It's very disgusting, it's very awful stuff, but I am sorry, if you dress a specific way, you are 100% allowed to be criticized for that. If a girl goes outside wearing almost little to no nothing, we are allowed to criticize that. Of course, I'm not saying that someone wearing a corset immediately means that we can criticize them like, you know, oh, that they're obviously like being sexual. Of course not, that's not what I'm saying. Now, another reason why I find this point a little bit silly or funny is because these men, they are essentially addicts. Now, I know that doesn't excuse their behavior, but if you change the substance that they're consuming, for example, instead of it being pornography, would, let's say, meth, but would you go out of your way and blame your friend, like blame everything on them for buying the product? Yes, it is mostly their fault, but if not for the suppliers, well, where would they be getting it? They wouldn't be getting it at all. If you want to find someone who should be responsible, who should answer for ruining your subculture, it's these women. If they never made this subculture as appealing, well, it's still really weird for me to address this as this subculture, because they are not, as Kaytlyn and I put it, they're not very much goth. They are very much just cosplaying. I'm pretty sure she said in the video that these women are cosplaying as goth women. They're not actually goth women. These are your patients zero of this goon-pocalypse. If not for them, this kind of gooning towards goth people would never exist, because as I mentioned before, these people are not conventionally attractive. They have a lot of features that most of us don't find attractive, and only really their nuanced circles find that attractive.
I am a very big progressive in that the porn industry is a disgusting one. It is one that takes advantage of and exploits women. Not just women, but young girls as well. It's a despicable industry. However, I am not going to sit here and judge somebody choosing to do something with their body that is their right, essentially.
Now this could probably be called the driving force for why I even made this video. It's kind of weird for someone to say that, you know, she does say that the porn industry is bad, which, yeah, of course it is. It's an industry that exploits both the customer and the employee. The only people that really win are like the overlords and people who collect all the cash. And yet, in the same breath, I don't understand how someone could say something like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna judge people for doing what they want with their body, even if they are being exploited. That's kind of having your friend like be in some kind of like corporate job and then them being just basically abused working like 13, 14 hours a day, being paid almost nothing, and instead of you telling that friend, being like, hey, maybe you should consider changing your workplace, is they're like, yeah, there's just nothing wrong with that. No, not at all. Keep going. You rock, girl. And it's also kind of weird how she starts off this whole sentence by saying that she's very progressive. To me, it just kind of implies that progressivism and liberalism is for women being sex workers, which, if you ask me, I feel like there's nothing more demeaning and just degrading for a woman to do other than sex work. And I don't care if she has fun with that, if she hates it, if she loves it, it is just degrading. And I don't understand how you can, say something like that. And that's about all I had for this video. The main point that I wanted to make is that I kind of feel like we're once again just putting the responsibilities of women away. We're kind of ignoring how they are also feeding this issue. And I just kind of found it funny how Kaytlyn just kind of glosses over the issue and completely, disregards the fact that these women are in fact kind of the root of this problem altogether. Because as far as I'm aware, no one actually forced them to do this. I really doubt anyone put a gun to their head and say, oh, we gotta open an OnlyFans right now. And these women could probably find employment anywhere else, given especially that just how great they look. It really shouldn't be that hard for them to find employment somewhere else as long as they've got the experience and education required. As for how to solve the gooning issue, well, it's not very easy, but what I would essentially do is just basically ban pornography, like full stop. Now I know this will never happen because this industry generates a ton of money, so of course it'll never end, but it would probably be the healthiest. That way the addicts, the gooners, get cut off from their supplier, and probably at first they're going to be really upset, but eventually they resensitize and just go back to normal, as they should. But until then, I guess all that we can do is just fight this battle ourselves. I really hope that if anyone watches this video, I really hope that maybe, just maybe, you'll reconsider your choices. If you're a man especially, pornography and porn addiction could have some very negative consequences to you, like you having erectile dysfunction, etc., etc. And it really isn't outweighed by any positives, which I don't even know if there are any. So that all being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my rambling, even if I did it in a very monotone voice. Once again, go check out Kaylyn's video. I still think it's great and makes a great point where we as people have started sexualizing nearly everything at this point. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Also, as a side note, I want to add, I didn't really make this video as trying to stir up any controversy. I just had a lot of thoughts, and I thought, hey, maybe I should just get them out. So if anyone sees this video and they feel offended, well, that was not my intention. So yeah, thank you once again for watching. Have a great day, night, whatever, and see you in the next video, hopefully.